Welcome to HealthPod, your self-development hub
on mental health, psychology, and spirituality.
Spiritual awakening from a car accident in 2012. And I healed myself. I wasn't meant to walk for a year, but I did in 2 months because I healed myself. And it was my first ever psychedelic. I was terrified to do any plant medicine psychedelic. So like trusting that we are one with everything, that the universe has our back, and we are guided, and there's a bigger plan, and all of that.
Elena May.
Yay.
Welcome. I'm so happy we finally made it to have you onto the podcast. It's a pleasure to be sitting here with my sister and talking about the plants, being a medicine woman, being a healer, and all of the amazing work that you do in this world. I'm really touched that you're here. I know that it's aligned at the right time as well. So for everyone that doesn't know Elena May and how incredible you are and the work that you're doing, let us know. Who is Elena May and what do you do?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here. I'm so excited. Who is Elena May? Well, a medicine woman, a medicine carrier, a ceremonialist, ceremonial guide, and a psychedelic integration coach.
Yay!
Plant medicine integration coach. Yeah.
Very important part of it.
Yeah.
Something that I feel like is very much overlooked. And I remember when I first met you and I thought, oh, that's amazing that we have more integration coaches. It's an essential part of working with plant medicines.
The most important.
The most important part. How did you come into working with the plants? Let's dive deep into.
All right.
Today's episode is sponsored by Nomad, your local experts on sourdough bread, mouth-watering pastry, and specialty coffee. So for those of you that would like to start your day right and get your caffeine fix, Nomad is the place to go. Let's tune back to our wonderful episode.
Well, it started with cacao. Okay, well, let's start from the beginning. I had my spiritual awakening from a car accident in 2012. And I healed myself. I wasn't meant to walk for a year, but I did in 2 months because I healed myself. And that got me into this huge, like, wow, like we are powerful. We can actually heal our physical bodies. Like what? So it just took me on a really deep dive of like finding out what energy healing is and like miracles and that there's so much more than we've been told.
Yes.
And that led me to cacao.
Okay.
My friend Nina, she took me to Angela here in Cyprus and to my first ever ceremony, cacao ceremony. And it was just like, wow, home. And I just got so excited and I ended up going twice a week to cacao. I've done maybe 400 cacao ceremonies so far. And then we started working with Dr. Joe's work and we were invited to go to his retreat in Mallorca.
Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Dr. Joe Dispenza, sorry, thank you. He's awesome, his work's really fantastic. So we were there and his head of staff was like, ayahuasca. I'm like, what?
Okay.
She's like, you need to go to ayahuasca.
Okay. And when was this?
In 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And she's like, write it down. I wrote ayahuasca down. And
did you know what it was?
No, I had no idea. And she's like, you have to go to Rhythmia, which is what she went like 5 times. She's like, you need to go there, ayahuasca. I'm like, okay, I wrote it down. And then I received my compensation money from my car accident, right? So I went back to work because I was working at the time. And my little symbol was the bees. So at the end of the retreat, Dr. Joe's retreat, this bee landed on my my arm, and I looked it up, and it said, if a bee comes to you, follow it and it'll take you to your destiny.
Okay.
I went and got a tattoo of a bee straight away, like right after that. And I go back to work after this retreat, and I'm walking to my first day back to work, and this guy in front of me has got a suitcase with a bee on it. But like, it's a suitcase specifically. I'm like, the bees are telling me I need to get out of here.
You need to get out of here.
So I quit my job because I had the money, like from my car accident, which is what took me on the path. And so I looked up Rhythmia and I booked. And I just went.
You trusted the flow.
I trusted the flow and the guidance and the bees to take me to my destiny. Yeah. And so like 2 months after that, I went. And it was my first ever psychedelic. I was terrified to do any plant medicine psychedelic. So like even at uni, like my friends would do mushrooms. I was like, nah, it's not for me. You know, and ayahuasca, like you said, lost the virginity to ayahuasca.
Yeah, losing your virginity to ayahuasca.
Yeah, I love that when he said that. Yes. So yeah, that was my first. Okay, I guess cacao was the first, and then so when the first moment sitting with ayahuasca.
How was it for you?
So the first feeling she gave me was this like nauseous feeling of being drunk. Like the room was spinning and I was like, oh my God, this is intense. And then when that settled, all of the room filled with maths equations. And she's like, this is your first lesson. The universe is made up of maths. Like, okay. And then it was like this feeling of home and belonging. And like, it was like a resonance in my soul that like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Like you've done this before.
Exactly. Many lifetimes.
Many lifetimes.
Yeah. And she told me very loud and clear in that first ceremony, this is your path. And in the beginning, I was like, what? What does that even mean? Like, but there was like this resonance and this like heart expansion, like, this is what I want to do. I instantly became the plant's biggest cheerleader and advocate. I am obsessed.
You are.
I am so devoted to them and the path.
Yes.
And then, I just since then have just been to 11 retreats, done 7 master plant dietas, which is the initiation and training of being a medicine carrier. And
where are you going this summer?
End of May, I'm going for my deep dive with ayahuasca, apprenticeship with her. And I'm going with the intention of letting the flow take me and maybe not coming back. Yeah. Yes. I'm really excited.
I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you. I've actually watched your path unfold over the last couple of years and seen you evolve into this beautiful embodied woman that trusts the flow and keeps reminding me as well to surrender where I need to and be open to the magic of life and where it can take you. We spend so much time thinking that we know where we're headed. And it really takes away from life as opposed to just seeing what the next step is. And there's always signs from the universe. There's always signs. But to have the courage to follow those signs is a big leap of faith for many. And I own up to that as well throughout my path. What do you think gives you the courage to keep being open to the signs and following through with them? I think this will be great for our viewers that are really looking to embody more of that flow of life and surrendering to it.
It doesn't just happen. You have to actually work through the fear and all the things that are like blocking you and in the way of that. But actually it takes courage to even do that, right?
Yes.
Because we don't want to face the things that are there that are stopping us from trusting that we are one with everything, that the universe has our back and we are guided and there's a bigger plan and all of that. But it's just taking those baby steps and even finding people that can help you with that. Because actually, I don't think we're meant to do it alone. And so you just make a decision of like, even though I don't know what it means, and I'm scared of the unknown, and it means I'm going to have to face a lot of things inside of me that I'm maybe not ready to, but you just decide that that it's more important over all of that.
Yes. Yeah. Did you find that you faced resistance from yourself as well as the people around you? Because it's not the path that everyone takes, and especially living in a small island like Cyprus and being from here, you know, there's different opinions.
Oh yeah, that's actually been the hardest thing. The hardest part of all of that, and that's what's taken the most courage from me, is to keep showing up and saying, no, this is my path.
Yeah.
This is what I believe in. This is my heart. And I don't want anything else but this. So no matter what my family say or friends say or society says, I just keep showing up because I know it in my heart, and I'm more important, and my heart's more important than anybody's voice. And their voices comes from their fear and the unknown, and that's okay. But
and you potentially showing them something that's within themselves that they're not daring to take ownership of and step in towards their higher self. And obviously if you see someone doing that, you wonder, well, I think naturally you step into fear of the unknown for them, but it really has a lot to do with your own inner world, right? And your ability to not recognize that, hey, maybe there's a part of me that really wants to do something that I'm not following through with. So your light is so important for them, for all of us. As is all of our light within us, because the more we embody who we want to be and show up in the most authentic way and version of ourselves, then we're not only giving ourselves permission, but we give other people the permission to try new things and be the best version of themselves. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's so true.
Elena May, right. When you speak about the plants, okay, I hear such devotion on your behalf to them. And I think that's an understanding that a lot of us don't have. There's this connection that whether it's the divine, whether it's the plants, whether it's your intuition, that more people need guidance on this. What would be your number one tip with following and listening to your intuition? Ooh. I see you watching. I'm really enjoying this episode. So if you're this far through the episode, make sure that you like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thank you.
Intuition is a tricky one. We all have it, right?
Yep.
We all have psychic abilities.
Yes.
And most of them are laid dormant inside of us. And you know, you see little children and they're like see things and spirits and like they're so tuned in and aware because all their abilities and intuition is online. And then it gets shut down from like little things, from something a parent would say, or like something at school, or, you know, like it just gets shut down at such a young age. Not for everybody. There's a lot of people that are so tuned in their whole lives. But for most of us, because of society and because it's so frowned upon, or like, you know, the whole witch thing, like, you know, like, yeah, so it's like not okay to know things. And again, it's like the thing with what I said, the other thing, it's like taking the courage of actually taking the steps, like, no, I actually believe that I have these abilities and I want to bring them online. And so you take the steps, and again, you work through all the blocks and the fears and the traumas that were put on you from not feeling safe to be yourself and to be this magical person that we all are.
Yeah.
Find the people who are already doing it. That would be my advice.
Great piece of advice.
Yeah.
When you're around people that are already embodying what you see in yourself that is lying dormant, then you feel safe to be able to express that.
Exactly.
And with that, you're able to step in, tap into your own powers and say, oh, I hear that. I can sense that.
And
yes.
the more you then start having those, synchronicities and things from the universe, because when you start opening up, you start having more awareness and flow of like the universe communicating with you, right? And then you have like little things like your intuition would say, oh, that person's going to say that. And then they say it. Those little moments strengthen your trust. Because really that's the more trust that you have, the more that you can actually be it and believe it as well. So it's like, it's an unfolding process. Yeah.
And it definitely comes from safety first.
Yes.
When you feel safe within your own body, within your own nervous system, then you're able to say, oh, these aren't just thoughts coming through, but it's my intuition and it's leading me.
Yes.
And it's something beyond myself. It's not me that has the power, but I'm being guided, right? Tell us a little bit more about the plants.
Yay.
Yay! Your favorite topic.
Literally. Okay, well, again, what society has like really engraved in us, so the plants are made illegal. They're illegal, so there's this fear of like, oh, you're going to jump off the roof and you're going to kill yourself, I'm not going to get into all of that.
Okay.
But I'm going to speak on what the plants actually are.
Okay. Yes.
So first of all, think about trees, right? And like their root systems and how they communicate with each other, right? Yes. And then they have their offspring and they know that that's their offspring. So they send more nutrients they favor those trees. And then when there's danger, like they'll tell each other there's danger. One tree is sick, all the trees will help the tree. Nature is so intelligent.
Yeah.
So intelligent. And so the plants have a consciousness like we do. And even rocks and crystals, like everything has energy. And in the energy, there's information. There's a consciousness behind it. Us humans like to think that we're the only one superior species.
We have the power and we don't. Yes.
Yeah. But how I see the plants is that, how we're like, we're like compact, dense. Our consciousness is here in duality in the physical. But plants, they are in the ether, in the void, in the mystery, in consciousness, in the oneness. So they are plugged into that. Their consciousness is in that.
Yes.
Right? So that to me is like, wow, you're even more cool.
Yes.
And even more plugged in than we could ever be.
Yeah.
Because we're here and we're meant to be here. Yeah. And so the plants, they want to help us like so much. They are so invested in our healing, our evolution. And why? Because it affects them too.
Yeah.
Like what happens here affects them as well.
The whole earth.
The whole earth.
Yeah.
Really, they're all Mother Earth's children, right? So the bigger thing is that we are devoted to Mother Earth. Yes. To her healing. Yeah. And we are her children as well. So they really, really want to help us awaken to that. And the earth is hurting. We are abusing the earth, even throwing a cigarette. Like the earth is not your ashtray. Cutting down trees, burning or whatever, like all that stuff we are doing is really hurting the earth. So the plants want to help us to remember that we are one, we are the earth's children. Yes. And the more that we awaken, the better we take care of the earth. So they all have unique personalities.
Okay.
And their own gifts and superpowers and things that they can help us with. There's a plant for every disease. Like, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. I could go into all the plants and all their personalities and stuff.
I would say let's pick 2 of your favorite plants that you've worked with.
Okay.
Okay. And let's expand on them,
Okay.
on their personalities. This is an interrogation of.
Yeah. I'm going to start with ayahuasca.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Because she is my number one love. A lot of people say this, but she saved my life. And I am devoted to her. And she is the spirit of Mother Earth. She is the cosmic mother. She is the mother of all plants. Well, if I'm going to speak about ayahuasca, I'll have to speak about Wachuma next. But so ayahuasca is what everybody's doing nowadays.
Yes.
It's become a bit mainstream and all of that. But people have been, well, the ancient tribes, the shamans, have been working with ayahuasca for thousands and thousands of years. Shipibo Canibo in Peru is one of the oldest tribes that have been working with her. Yeah. I'm going to go and be initiated by them in August. I'm very excited. But yeah, so ayahuasca has been protected by them for thousands of years. And so it's not this new thing. It's something that's very much a part of, she's really here to awaken who we are, right? And ayahuasca is the unconditional love of the mother. She loves us so much that she will shake things up. Meaning it's not easy to work with her.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She's actually one of the most challenging and hardest plants to work with. It's not for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, psychedelics in general is not for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, there's a whole list of things that, like, if people have heart conditions or mental health, I mean, like schizophrenia and stuff like that, like they should not do ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And you have to like really have a strict preparation period in order to even go to ayahuasca.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the dieta is such an important preparation of it that perhaps is overlooked.
Yeah.
It's like part of your initiation, part of your cleanse.
Yes.
To be able to receive. And unfortunately at the same time, it has become so mainstream that it hasn't been projected in the most sacred way. And it is not for everyone. I have to agree there. But if you have the right containers and the right spaces and the right people guiding you through it, then it can be such an awakening and such an important part of your life. Talk to us a little bit about Wachuma, because you mentioned Wachuma earlier.
Yes.
Have you worked with Wachuma?
Oh, over 30 times.
I like how I'm asking.
Yeah, you know.
I know.
Yeah, so ayahuasca is the divine mother, and Wachuma is the divine father. So they are the mother and father of all plants. And he is a cactus. So ayahuasca has DMT.
Yes.
But
and where is ayahuasca found?
In the jungle, in Peru, in Costa Rica, in Bolivia, in all in the Amazon. Yeah, and so they make a brew with ayahuasca with capi and chacruna. So it's like the bark and the leaf together. The leaf has the DMT.
Beautiful.
And the bark has the MAOI inhibitors that help you digest the DMT.
Okay.
And it's like made ceremonially, right, with intention and love, and it takes like a day to make it. And then we have Wachuma, who is mescaline. So it's a different type of psychedelic. And so, yeah, he's a cactus that grows like really tall to try reach the sun. And And again, so all the plants, you brew them with so much love and intention and prayer, and you sing Icaros and healing songs too. That's one, Icaro is a healing song. So Wachuma, the divine cactus, he's the divine masculine. If there was any best example of a perfect, healthy, divine masculine, it's Wachuma. And he will teach you that. And he will help you become the divine masculine that you need within you as well. Because we have to be that first before we can attract that, right?
Yes.
So he healed my relationship to the masculine and helped me build a healthy masculine within me.
Yeah.
He was the first man that I felt safe with. Yeah. I love him. And he's one of the less known plants, which is sad. Like his medicine kind of got lost a bit. And yes, ayahuasca is all at the forefront, but I am so devoted to Wachuma. I'm his guardian. I became recently a guardian of Wachuma. And so I really want to sing his praises and share his message and his medicine to a lot of people because it's been lost. There's a place in Peru in the Andes called Chavin. And that was thousands of years ago the most advanced civilization on the planet. The whole culture of Peru came from Chavin.
Wow.
And in Chavin, they have the Temple of the Jaguar and the Temple of the Falcon, and that's where they would hold Wachuma ceremonies. And the shamans would become jaguars in the ceremony, and people would walk for days, weeks, months to come there to drink the sacrament of Wachuma. And then they would take their messages and expand their consciousness with him, and then they'd go back to their villages, right? And then share that message. And so, yeah. Any question about Wachuma?
When's our ceremony?
Yeah. I brought you a cactus recently.
I got it on my altar and I'm praying and sitting with intention with it. Just pouring so much love into connecting with him.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question for you. There is a message from the plants that I feel like needs to come through.
Okay.
Okay. And that message is one that has been shared with you and you are going to share with the world.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And just tune in to what message the world needs to receive at this point in time, whenever this podcast will be released. And for whoever is going to be watching, and share with us, Elena May, what you feel is coming through in this moment. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you'd like to dive deeper into your own personal development and tap into your most authentic self, you can book a one-on-one session with me. You'll be able to find the details in the description here below. I look forward to chatting with you.
You are all pure love. You are more powerful than you ever could imagine right now, or what you've been told you are. You are not your fear and all the critical thoughts. Open and follow your heart. Let your heart guide your path and take the courage to work through the fear, because you are more important than the fear. And there's a whole beautiful heaven on earth waiting for you by just following your heart. And there are so many people out there that can help you. There are so many of us doing this work. So find us. Let's unite and find each other and build a beautiful, peaceful, harmonic earth that we all deserve to have. And if you have a calling from the plants, go to them. Go to them. We love you. You're so loved. Yeah. Thank you, Hélène. That was very emotional.
That was very emotional.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm lost for words. So where can people find you, Elena May?
Oh, on Instagram.
And all the amazing work that you do.
Yeah, on Instagram right now.
On Instagram, okay.
Yeah.
I'll link the information on the podcast here below.
Yeah.
And what is in store for people that can find you? What do you offer?
Well, I offer one-to-one ceremonies with cacao and drape-hape, sacred tobacco. And so what I help you do is to open all of that up, right? So I guide you to go within, and it's layers and layers of that, of finding more of your true essence and opening your heart, opening your psychic abilities, and working through all those fears. It's like my greatest joy to help people do that. I also do group ceremonies. I'm an integration coach. We didn't really talk about that, but it is very important.
Yes.
Actually, the most 10% of the work is the ceremony.
Okay.
90% of the work is the integration.
Okay.
And so I ayahuasca the plants.
Why so?
Yeah. Because when you go to the plants, right, and they open and bring to your awareness things inside you that are not in alignment, chaotic, traumatized, like fragmented parts of you. And that could be more traumatizing. Yes. Because it's so suppressed down there, and then all of a sudden it's there. And what am I going to do with it, right? And sometimes you leave the ceremony with that opened because you can't do everything in one ceremony, right? So the integration is you then working through that. And I mean, it's so highly recommended to find an integration coach or someone who can help you, who speaks the language of the plants, who is connected, has a relationship with the plants, who can guide you to process that and integrate it and bring it back home to love. Yeah. So integration is so important. A lot of people like aren't told that or aren't given the integration support, and they go back into the world and they're like, oh my God, who am I? Like, how do I fit in the world now? My life is crumbling around me. How do I function in the world now? So,
very important stuff. I couldn't agree more about the integration part. Having been through a process myself where I didn't have the right integration and had to figure out a whole year journey. With the guidance of certain people, but I didn't realize how integral it was for me to bring myself back down to earth, to really embody and act upon the things that I had been given. And to have the right people around you to do that. Obviously, my journey was my journey for some reason, and that's okay. But I now understand how essential it is for anyone working with psychedelics and the plants that they have that support. And it's definitely not just about this whole mainstream phase of everyone going for ayahuasca and trying it, but how do you implement that into your life? What do you bring from your lessons, from your teachings into your life, and how do you share that with the world with courage and strength and embody that fully?
Can I high five you? That was a bad high five. That was awesome. Like, so well said. Thank you. That's beautiful. So true.
So I have one final question
okay,
for you, Elena May. God, I love you so much.
I love you so much.
One final question. Who is Elena May without all the labels? Who is Elena May?
Pure love, childlike innocence, God consciousness, a plant.
You are a plant.
I have vines.
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
coming
having
on
me.
to Health Pod. It's been an absolutely beautiful discussion, beautiful sharing. And I know you'll be back soon again. Wishing you all the best of luck with your new journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all my love and support, and all of the support of the viewers watching us at this point in time as well is with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and we are going to see you again soon.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure filming it for you guys. If you like the work that we are putting out into the world, please make sure you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. It really helps the work that we do.
And if you would like to follow our journey on our IG account, as well as learn more about our services, we provide everything for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.